to another edition of the Empower Hour. I'm Al Kumar.
And I'm Hanifa.
And we're your hosts each and every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m., where we come to you with impactful topics of discussion that affect our everyday lives. Today will be no different. We have with us on the social media line is Dr. Wesley Muhammad. Welcome to the program, Dr. Wesley.
Oh, Sister Al-Kamar, Sister Hanifa, thank you so very much for inviting me to share on your wonderful platform. I'm honored.
Yes, and I know you've been very, very busy these days. I've been,
Yes, ma'am.
watching where you're going all cross country, up, down, round and round. Saw you. You was on the Breakfast Club interview, which was an awesome interview, by the way. Good job on
Thank
that
you. I
one.
appreciate it.
Yeah. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come talk to us about the weaponization of black music.
Yes, ma'am.
You'll
I'm,
be in
I'm delighted to do so.
Yes, yes. You'll be in town actually this Sunday.
That is correct.
Yeah.
We're hitting your city. I'm not coming by myself. I'm blessed, Sister Al-Kamar, to join my big brother, Professor Griff, and his beautiful and talented wife, Sister Soleil.
Hmm.
We're coming to the city and we are going to unpack, Allah willing, God willing, unpack the reality of the weaponization of black music and the consequences of that for our
Yeah.
people.
Absolutely. I can I can hardly
That's
wait.
this Sunday at what time?
This Sunday at
Yeah.
2. Doors open at 2 right here at Everlasting Life. I'm interested because it's not often that we actually can get the scoop firsthand live from those who are actually in or have been in the music industry. A lot of times we hear third party information. So I'm interested to hear what Professor Griff has to share with us. But what, as far as
Yeah.
the weaponization, what can they expect? Just a little bit of what you're planning to talk to the public about.
Yes, and to your point, I always begin when as I'm blessed to join Professor Griff on this subject, I always put it out there that I'm thankful and honored because I'm a guest in his lane.
Mm.
The weaponization of music, I first encountered it um, from Professor Griff, who, by the way, encountered it from the Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan in his Jack the Rapper lecture in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Professor Griff brought that record to Chuck D, and thus you have Public Enemy as the follower of Farrakhan. The dissecting of the weaponization of black music, um, and the exposing the Illuminati influence in hip hop. I first heard that. I would not know of that except that I heard it from my brother, Professor Griff. So I have to give credit where credit is due. Sister Al Kamar, I backed into this subject. My expertise is the scientific assault on Black America. Allah is blessed to me with expertise in that subject. The myriad of ways in which this scientific assault is occurring, and from that broader perspective, is where I come in terms of the weaponization of hip hop in particular.
Yeah,
I
and
will share what. Mhm. Go
oh,
ahead, please.
okay, yeah, no, I was going to say because all of that kind of encapsulates
Yes,
the assault on Black America is in the
that is
hip
correct.
the weaponization of Black music is part of that assault.
It's the latest iteration, and in fact, most effective iteration. What I will bring to the table and demonstrate. The government targeted the black mind, the black male mind in particular, after the riots in the 60s, the Nixon administration, targeted the black male mind for lobotomies, using ice picks to damage portions of the brain, intending to cause certain behavioral changes. From the Nixon administration, who used physical lobotomy, The Bush administration, the Reagan Bush administration, switched to chemical lobotomies instead of physical ice picks, using chemical ice picks to do the damage in the brain, resulting in the behavior modification desired. Right now, we're in the era of the sonic lobotomy, where to use the scientific weaponization of music, of rhythmic sound, to produce in the brain of black people in general, black men in particular, the exact same effect that the chemical lobotomy, drugs, pharmaceuticals, was intended to produce, and the physical lobotomy was intended to produce. But rhythmic sound is more effective in achieving the ends of lobotomy than even the physical ice pick or the chemical ice pick. So that's where we are, and that's what we will present.
So, Dr. Wesley Muhammad, again, welcome again back to the program. We appreciate you giving us your time.
I appreciate you.
From what you just explained, so we're coming into the knowledge of the fact that sound can actually bring healing to the body. So this
Yes,
songs, it sounds like someone has taken that and to create. I mean, to use it as a tool for the opposite effect. So
Yes.
are you saying that the issue, the weaponization of black music today is beyond lyrics? It's a little deeper than just lyrical content?
It's very deep. It starts with the music itself because it's a tool. The weaponization is a two-pronged approach. The rhythmic sound produces the physiological effect, and the lyrics serve as what they call command messages. So the lyrics put us in a particular mental altered state that allows easy access from the command messages, which are the lyrics. And allow me to just quickly make this point of clarification that you raised so importantly. We're talking about the weaponization of music. The inverse is the healing power of music. So what the enemies that we will expose this Sunday, they learn how to do two things. With rhythmic sound, you can put us in a mind state, a mental mind state of 10 hertz, where our total whole brain is resonating on the frequency of 10 hertz. That will stimulate the production of this great neurotransmitter serotonin that produces health. The same scientists know how to stimulate serotonin in our body by syncing us into a mental frequency of 10 hertz, but those same scientists, Sister Hanifa, know how to switch it, put us in a mental frequency of 4 hertz, which is the fear frequency that will stimulate the release of serotonin's opposite, noradrenaline. Noradrenaline when unrestricted, can have a negative effect on our physiology, whereas serotonin has a beneficial effect on our physiology, but with rhythmic sound, they know how to stimulate either serotonin or noradrenaline by using the music to put us in a 10 hertz mental framework or a 4 hertz mental framework.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I think of the importance of the drum, the African drum, as it relates.
That is the most important. Yes, ma'am.
As it relates.
That is that is the most important and effective tool in what they call auditory driving, rhythmic sound with a drum beat, and that's why hip hop has been commandeered so effectively, because hip hop is the most drum laden of all the music. And just as shamans and indigenous healers use the drum beat, the rhythm of the drum, to be sent into altered states of consciousness,
Yes.
the drum beat of hip hop was used by God to promote health and healing, but under the hand of our enemy, it's used as a weapon against us, because the drum beat is the most effective tool for auditory driving.
Wow. yeah. That's definitely, and that
It
goes.
opens us up, to your point. It's the drum beat, the drum rhythm that opens us up to the message command, which is the lyric.
Wow, wow,
So you spoke about the
wow.
frequency, the hertz frequency, 4. You talk about 10, and then the lower one, which is 4, which is the fair frequency. So can you
Yes,
give us
ma'am.
an example of what the manifestation of that looks like if you're constantly bombarded with that music that's coming from that frequency?
Yeah. If you live in a black neighborhood, you experience it every day. That fear frequency, because the black community is bombarded with low frequency sound waves. And what that does, these low frequency sound waves that specifically bombard poor black communities. This is another manifestation of environmental racism, environmental terrorism, that poor black communities are consistently and specifically bombarded with these low frequency sound waves. And what it does, it raises cortisol levels, the stress hormone
Right.
in our body, overactivates our adrenal glands, which raises cortisol, which poisons our blood. If cortisol release is overstimulated and not spent, it poisons our blood. So we have cardiac problems, we have high blood pressure in the black community, but also what the 4 hertz frequency mind state does is put the person and the people in a constant state of anxiety, the constant state, and so there's a high violence rate in communities bombarded with low frequency sound waves. That's our community. So, is there a lot of violence here in Chicago where I am? Absolutely. Why? One reason is because everybody here is walking around on edge. Everybody here is anxiety and think that everybody is after them. Why? Because our people here walk around in a 4 hertz state of mind, the fear frequency. So we think everybody is our enemy, so we're quick to shoot.
Even ourselves, because as I'm listening to you, I'm like, so you're talking about the cortisol levels and the stress level. I'm like, so you're pretty much creating someone who is like hyper alert, almost paranoid,
Wow.
and
That is
constantly
right.
living on edge. So it don't take much to set them off.
Right. But I would not hyper alert,
Right,
because
sorry.
that has a specific meaning. Be alert. We need to be alert. We are hyper paranoid,
Yeah.
but we don't see in our environment the threats that are actually there. And you know why? Because our testosterone in men has been diminished by the same music. And when you diminish testosterone, the male's amygdala cannot properly perceive threats in the environment, but the high anxiety makes us see threats where they don't exist. So the high level of anxiety has us shooting randomly, all while we never protect ourselves against the real threats and predators in our environment because we're not alert to them.
Right.
Because our testosterone has been diminished, our cortisol has been raised. So we're paranoid without alertness.
Wow. Speaking of testosterone levels diminishing, you have a very controversial book
Yes,
that
ma'am.
that you have out
Yes,
there
ma'am.
that I've read myself, and I thought that it was phenomenal work. Good,
Thank
good
you.
work on your part, and I was very impressed with
Thank
all
you.
the footnotes in the book. You know, people
Thank you.
always
That's important.
when I hear, because this is a lot of controversy out there about the book, and those who I notice have not read the book, but like to smoke marijuana and like reasons to continue
Yes,
to
ma'am.
smoke marijuana will point out that maybe there's some discredit or things in the book. And I always say, well, did you actually read it? Because you know everything you
That's the
said
important
was
question.
backed up by science and evidence.
That is right.
So it wasn't
Thank
like
you for
your
that.
perspective. You actually
Right.
went and found the researched and found all the documentation and presented the evidence in book format. So,
Yes, ma'am.
the book. Can you tell us a little bit about your book, please?
Yes. Understanding the Assault on the Black Man, Black Manhood, and Black Masculinity, Volume 1, and then Volume 2, which is subtitled The Pot Plot, Hip Hop and a Scientific Assault on Black America. This marijuana issue is very important. Thank you for raising that point, because people want to say, well, you're Dr. Wesley Muhammad, but you're not a doctor in pharmacology. So what gives you the right to discuss the pot plot? What gives you the right to discuss the effect of THC and CBD on the human body? Well, I will grant you that argument. So in my book, I present the receipts from the pharmacologists. So those who are qualified to say, I bring them to testify on the issue. So you don't have to rely on me. I don't expect you to rely on me because I don't necessarily believe you. So I bring to the witness stand those who we both can agree are qualified to weigh in on the subject. And the subject is very pressing. The nation, there is a full court press to legalize marijuana in this country. The same people who spent decades criminalizing marijuana and demonizing black users of marijuana have now had a come to Jesus moment? No. They have switched up because they found marijuana is better weaponized legal by being legal than it is by being illegal, because legal marijuana does something that illegal marijuana doesn't do. Legal marijuana can both fill the jails as they desire, but also imprison those outside on the block who are freely getting it. It's having the effect on the fullness of the community while still allowing them to arrest black and brown males for marijuana possession. I close on this point. In the states where marijuana is legal, for example, Colorado, the arrest rate of black and brown males for marijuana possession has gone up since legalization, not gone down. That's the trick.
Wow.
Why is that? I'm sorry.
Very, very simple. Very simple. The trick is very transparent. Why is that? Because it doesn't matter that marijuana is legalized on a state level, as long as it's criminalized on a federal level. In these states like Colorado, the DEA comes in and makes all of the arrests because federal law trumps state law. So the government insists on keeping it federally criminalized, but supporting state right to legalize it, because in the states where it's legal, we are lulled into a false sense of security. We lighten up on the block in Colorado because it's legal, but we end up in the handcuffs of the DEA because federally it's illegal. And so in all of these states where it's legal, the federal government is sending their agents in and making arrests. So more black men are going to jail in marijuana possession than less in states where it is legal.
Wow. Where can they get more information about your book? I think we have a picture.
At www.drwesleymuhammad.info, drwesleymuhammad.info. You can get information about the book.
And they can hear more about this as well on Sunday. This is
Come out.
Yes,
We're
come
going to get
out on
into all
Sunday,
of this. The great Professor Griff, the great Sister Soleil.
Yes.
It's going to be a powerful event,
Yeah.
family.
Tickets are still available, family. If you want to, elifeevents.com is where you snatch your tickets up for this awesome event. There'll be a lot of vendors in the house as well for your shopping pleasure. That's Professor Griff, Miss Soleil, and Dr. Wesley Muhammad all together on one stage talking up to us about the also important topic of the weaponization of black music. You want to come get the information, fam. We have, if not for ourselves, for the ones that's coming behind us. We have children and grandchildren and nieces and nephews and that listen to this music religiously. And they pour their hearts and souls into this music. So we really need to understand the science behind what is going in our and their minds.
Right.
So come and get the information, because knowledge is not
That is
only
right.
power, but it can save our lives.
Yep.
It can save our lives if we implement it correctly.
That is
So,
right.
Dr. Wesley,
right.
you know you don't have, our time is up, and I know you're busy, but you got a lot more to share with the people come Sunday. So we look forward to seeing you this Sunday
I do.
in our city.
This is just a trailer.
This is just a
I
trailer.
look forward to it. Love you. Look forward to seeing you
Yes,
Sunday.
it is.
Yes, sir.
Thank you
Yes,
again.
sir.
Greetings, family.
Thank you
See
so
you
much,
Sunday.
beloved.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you. All right, take
Thank
care.
you.
Mhm.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jackson.
All right, family. Again, that's this Sunday at Everlasting Life. We're at 9185 Central Avenue at 2 p.m.
Okay.
So come on through, get your tickets in advance. I believe it goes up a little more at the door, so you don't want to wait too long. And that's eLife Media Presents. No, I'm sorry, eLifePresents.com. That's where you go to get your tickets. Or you can come into the restaurant and grab them here as well.
And did you give the price of the tickets?
I think it's 20.
Okay.
I think it's only $20.
Okay.
So yeah, come on and join us for that. And share, family, please share this information. You never know. You know, there's a lot of people we know that their desire is to be in the music industry.
Yeah.
You know, consider them.
Yeah.
Share this information. Tell them to take a listen and come on out.
Well, bring
and join
bring
us.
a young person with you.
Bring a young
Yeah,
person.
because that's
with you.
really who is buying this music that we're talking about.
That's
truly.
a good point.
Yeah,
That's
truly.
a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that was Dr. Wesley. Professor Griff will also be here, and of course he has a whole lot to say because he was actually in the music industry.
Yes.
You know, and his wife is in the music
Yes,
industry.
she is. Yes.
So they have a lot of inside intel that they can share with us.
So this is 2 to what? It's like 2 to 6.
Something to that
Because I
effect.
was like, this is
Something
going to
to-
be a lot of information.
Yeah.
So-
Doors open at 2.
Okay.
Oh, here's the flyer here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that 7 p.m.? Oh, oops.
Oops.
I'm sorry. I had it wrong. Doors open at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Okay, I had the wrong
Good, I could
information.
come. Yes.
Yeah, so
I'll be
it's,
here.
it's Sunday evening. Doors open at 6 and the lecture starts at 7. Forgive me.
I'll be
That's the correction on that. All
I
right.
mean, we can wrap up. That's
Okay.
fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, family, if you guys don't have anything more to share with us, if you had, then we're going to wrap this up right now. We just wanted to get Dr. Wesley on. We didn't have a actual full-fledged program for you guys today because we think this what they're doing is a lot important, and so we wanted to get the word out on that. And so that's it for us this week. So come on out and join us, and we'll be coming to you next week with a full 1-hour program. Take care of each other out there, family. Peace.
Peace.